Ça y est, c'est bon, le café. Oh non, j'y crois pas, il n'y a plus de café. Bonjour dans un nouvel épisode afin de prendre le français avec Paul Jenkins Languages. Super, bonjour à toutes et à tous, soyez le bienvenu dans ce leçon. So, this is Year 7 French from Unit 3 of the Allez textbook, and it's Lesson 2. Lesson 1, I did some audio recordings on a PowerPoint, but I'm trying video today just to give more options, really. Obviously, I'm doing this for specific students who I teach, but obviously there are things that you can take if you're a French teacher or just wanting to improve your French. So, key vocab for today. Let me go back a slide. That's better. So, today we will be looking at where you live. Previously, we looked at school. So we're going to be focusing on where you live today and that key verb, j'habite, I live. For those who are getting this emailed to them, the first and the last slides of the PowerPoint I'm not showing on the YouTube video because they contain my email, and you can understand why. So this is the vocab we'll be using for the lesson. Vocabulary, or vocab for short. I realise sometimes I should just say keywords to make it simpler. Let me quickly read through them now for pronunciation. If after each one you want to pause and repeat after, be my guest, that would be super helpful. J'habite dans un appartement, une chambre, une maison individuelle, une maison jumelée, un pavillon, en banlieue, à la campagne, à la montagne, dans un village, en ville. That double L sound, pay close attention to. Right, let's keep it going. We need the key verb today, j'habite, which means I live. You can see j'habite just here. Notice when I'm saying j'habite, that technically I'm saying two separate words, the word je meaning I and the word habite meaning live, but whenever je is followed by a vowel or the letter H, which counts as a vowel in French, it changes to J apostrophe, and notice it means that it's all pronounced as one word or one sound. So j'ai, which means I have, J apostrophe AI, just j'ai. It's not je ai, it's not two separate sounds, just j'ai. Roll it all through together. And then j'habite. It's almost like the H isn't there, like jab, j'habite. Okay, looking at the keywords that you have, and remember you can pause me at any time. That's the great thing about these recorded videos. We want to match up the words to the pictures. So for example, une maison individuelle, literally an individual house, would be 3. We wouldn't call it an individual house. In English, we call it a detached house. I think some of these photos aren't brilliant, but I think 9, numéro 9, is en banlieue, in the suburbs-ish. Interesting thing about suburbs, often in England, we think of suburbs as kind of quite leafy, well-to-do areas, and often in France, particularly in Paris, the banlieue, the suburbs are less reputable. Not to put too fine a point on it. As always, feel free to pause at this point to get your answers jotted down. Activity 2 is a listening. This is great because obviously if some people are having issues with their audio, obviously we can do it via video. So 4 people talking about where they live, and write down the correct numbers you hear, and just to make it interesting, there may be more than one number. So, numéro 1, Alain. Bonjour, je m'appelle Alain. J'habite dans un appartement à Paris. Numéro 2, Marie. This is the point I have to remember what actually recorded. Yep. Oops. Bonjour, je m'appelle Marie. J'habite dans une maison individuelle. Numéro 3. Number 3. Remember, you can pause at any time and replay. That's the joy of video teaching. Salut, moi, je m'appelle Florence. J'habite dans un pavillon à la montagne. Et finalement, numéro 4. Salut, je m'appelle Claude. J'habite dans une maison jumelée en ville. If you want to pause and have a re-listen to those, that's fine. If not, the answers are appearing on the screen now for you to have a look and to mark yourself. Okay, on continue. So thinking about that listening, often I strung two ideas together in some of those just to try and develop this. Because think about it, if you're saying that what type of house you live in, or flat, or whatever, you can then kind of give a bit more specifics about the location. So look there, j'habite dans un appartement en ville. I live in an apartment in town. And the second one, j'habite dans une maison individuelle à la campagne. I live in a detached house in the countryside. Now notice you could have swapped those endings around, and you could have made different sentences. You could live in an apartment in the countryside, not that those really exist, but never mind. J'habite dans un appartement à la campagne. Those endings could be swapped around. If you were using a as well, that a was an accent on, pronounced a, you could then put the name of a place, à Nottingham, à Paris, etc. Obviously then we could put this into a writing, and you could write down 3 sentences imagining different places you could live, mainly because someone will always email me and say, but I don't live there. It's like, I know, but let's just practice the French, eh? So looking at this, I could say, using pictures 5 and 9, les images 5 et 9, j'habite dans un appartement dans la banlieue. I live in an apartment in the suburbs. Or I could use images 6 and 7. 6 et 7, j'habite dans une maison jumelée en ville. If I wanted to be extra clever, I could make that a negative, and instead of saying j'habite, I could say je n'habite pas. N apostrophe and pas. Je n'habite pas dans une maison jumelée. I don't live in a semi-detached house. Finally, I've linked this to a Show My Homework quiz, which you should find, and that's just a chance for you to be practicing the keywords that you've been learning. Hopefully for those who have received emails from me, it's been helpful. Please leave a comment below if that's helped. If you're not being taught by me at the moment, but you found it helpful as well, please leave a comment. Merci beaucoup à toutes et tous. Bonne continuation pendant le confinement. Keep up the good work whilst we're in lockdown. Tough times, but we can keep going. Merci beaucoup et au revoir.